comes alive and living history's mysteries. Man, I'll tell you what, I thought we did good with Haunted History, Myths and Legends of North America last October. But we have got so many comments, so many inquiries, and so many suggestions on this year. I can't wait to see what 2021 is going to be like. We're going to continue it today with 5 of Michigan's biggest urban legends. This was suggested to us by a new member of the family. I can't wait to get into this. It's going to be really interesting, and there's probably going to be some no one's ever heard of. There's a couple there that I've never heard of. So I hope you guys enjoy video 3 of Haunted History, Myths and Legends of North America. And the month's only half over. Hope you enjoy it.
Paulding Light. Since 1966, a mysterious light has appeared at night in the valley outside of Paulding, Michigan. The strobe-like beam, known as the Paulding Light, shines in the distance along the highway stretch of US 45 like a lighthouse, signaling ships to shore. While students and investigators have explained the occurrence as something natural, many residents still believe that it is paranormal. The Paulding Light, also known as Ghost Light, can be seen every night just above the vast line of trees and power lines in the rural area called Robbins Pond Road. It slowly flickers on like a candle, burning brighter and hovering like a fireball amongst the stars for several seconds. It's been reported to range in colors from a bright white to a reddish orange and even a green. It first appeared in 1966 when a group of teens reported seeing it in the woods. The phenomenon has occurred so frequently over the course of 50 years it has become a tourist attraction and hotspot for paranormal investigators. To see this mysterious orb, you must follow the gravel road about half a mile, where there will be a run into a barricaded dead end. At the foot of the forest road lies a sign that begins, "This is a location from which the famous Paulding Light can be observed," and then goes on to explain the common legend that surrounds this light. A friendly ghost is at the bottom of the sign holding a lantern, like the ghost from the light's popular legend. The theory that it is from a lantern of a railroad worker's ghost, tragically killed trying to cross the railroad tracks. He reportedly swings the lantern and flashes a light to warn visitors of an impending train. Other variations of the legend is that the man was killed on the train tracks as he searched for his lost son in the night. His light appears as his ghost continues searching for his forever lost child. And an even more sinister explanation is that someone was brutally murdered along the railroad. River Raisin National Battlefield Park. The Michigan home of General George Custer, Monroe, Michigan, is the site of the largest and bloodiest battle in the state. The Battles of River Raisin, also called Battles of Frenchtown, occurred before Custer was even born. These battles took place during the War of 1812. The British really hammered the American troops, who were forced to surrender. American soldiers were led away by the British, leaving wounded and injured American soldiers laying to die on the battlefield. These helpless soldiers were then massacred by Native Americans in a surprise attack. They plundered homes and the wounded for valuables and then killed and scalped Americans who could not walk. Bodies were tossed into burning houses that the Indians had set aflame. Over 60 unarmed American wounded were killed, and this was later known as the Massacre of River Raisin. This was the deadliest battle of the war in 1812, and it saw over 500,000 American soldiers killed. As recently as the year 2000, scattered human remains were found in the vicinity, which helps reinforce the haunted battlefield legend. Tons of paranormal teams have held investigations at the Raisin National Battlefield Park, using objects of the time, the early 1800s, like music and other items to coax out some spirits to appear and communicate. Many people have claimed to have photographed ghostly figures on the field, in doorways and windows, and many also claim to hear, and in some cases recorded, cries of pain and agony on the battlefield. But paranormal investigators aren't the only ones that experience ghosts. Everyday visitors to this park have their own stories to tell, from orbs, nighttime glowing light, and apparitions of soldiers reportedly have been seen by visitors, who have also captured ghostly voices on tape. The Lake Michigan Triangle. The Triangle has accounted for numerous mysterious events, beginning in 1891, when a schooner named the Thomas Hume set off across the Lake Michigan for lumber. The Hume disappeared along with its crew of 7 sailors, not a trace found. But strange events kept occurring in the area of the Lake Michigan Triangle, which spans from the South Benton Harbor to Michigan to Ludington, Wisconsin, and Manitowoc. In 1921, 11 people inside the Rose Bell ship disappeared, and their ship was found overturned in Lake Michigan. The ship had been damaged in a collision, but no other ship had reported an incident and no other wreck was ever found. On April 28, 1937, Captain Donner vanished from his cabin after guiding his ship through icy waters. The captain went to his cabin to rest, and about 3 hours later, a crew member went in to alert him that they were nearing the port. The door was locked from the inside. The mate broke into the cabin only to find that it was completely empty. A search turned up no clues, and Donner's disappearance still remains unsolved today. And one of the most mysterious cases of Lake Michigan happened in 1950, when Northwest Airlines Flight 2501, which was carrying 58 people, crashed into Lake Michigan. The plane was never found. At the time, it was the deadliest commercial airliner accident in American history. The pilot had just requested to descend to 2,500 feet because of severe electrical storm which was lashing the lake with high-velocity winds when the plane disappeared from radar. To this day, the plane wreckage still has not been found, and the cause of the crash still remains unknown. About 2 hours after the last communication with Flight 2501, police officers reported seeing a strange red light hovering over Lake Michigan and disappearing after 10 minutes, leading some to believe a UFO was to blame. Many have reported other strange occurrences in the Triangle area, including UFO sightings. Some have even claimed the Triangle was a time portal and it could bend time, calling the cause a metaphysical force with a supernatural vortex of energy. Some blame the disappearance on the extreme weather often found on Lake Michigan, including strong squalls and high winds. Landmark Inn. A Landmark Inn in downtown area of the city of Marquette in the state of Michigan was initially brought into existence in the year 1910. While a successful operation to start with, the structure eventually had to close to the public in the year 1982 due to much needed repairs and renovations. For approximately 3 decades, many notable names frequented the Landmark Inn in Marquette, Michigan, Room number 502 was visited by the popular Amelia Earhart. This occurred in the year 1932. Just 10 short years later, the comedians named Abbott and Costello stayed in the establishment. Throughout the history of the haunted landmark inn, several famous individuals visited. These names included, but are not limited to, Jim Harrison, Bill Cosby, amongst many others. Travelers who were considered to be socially elite and locals would often lodge at this magnificent structure as well. It was considered to be one of the most beautiful and accommodating hotels in the entire state of Michigan. But along with all the positive, there was also some dark aspects to this hotel. A murder is said to have occurred at the haunted landmark inn in Michigan. A man murdered a female once he discovered that she was not being honest with him about her other engagements with men. As a result, he immediately fell to anger and murdered her in his rampage of jealousy. Once this occurred, he took the body to the basement area of the structure, which was not finished at the time, and left her. The crew that worked to complete this area often report hearing crying and faint whispers of a female that appeared to urge them toward her. But there are more reports of hauntings in the structure. The Lilac Room in the hotel is one of the areas in which the morning female apparition is located. However, this is not the only paranormal event that occurs in the room. Many strange and unexplained phenomena have been experienced in this particular location. One of the strangest is reported by the hotel staff. The phone from the room often rings into dispatch board for the operator. While this is not usually paranormal, the fact that the room is locked and no one is residing in it makes employees believe that it is a spirit. One man was reported and became angry at the fact that he found screws in his bed just under the sheets. Throughout history, many unexplained occurrences have happened in this room. If you are seeking haunted places in the state of Michigan, be sure to put the Haunted Landmark Inn on your agenda. Masonic Temple. This 1912 monstrosity has over 1,000 rooms, hidden floor compartments, secret passageways, secret staircases, and spirits. Built by a rich man named George D. Mason, he obviously overdid it and went bankrupt, causing his wife to leave him. Depressed over his divorce and his financial state in this mess, he went up to the roof and jumped to his death. To this day, security guards claim to see George's spirit climbing those steps to the rooftops. Visitors have reported many noises such as doors and windows being slammed shut. They also see moving shadows and experience cold spots, all while feeling that they are being watched by someone. The Masonic Temple always pops up during conversation about Detroit's most haunted places, and is considered to be one of the top 10 haunted places in the entire state of Michigan. Here's what one person had to say about their experience within the building. I've worked shows at venues all over the country for several years, and this one is one of the creepiest places I've ever been to. Firstly, it just feels heavy when you walk in, and it feels haunted. Secondly, if you spend any significant amount of time in there, you will begin to see strange movements out of the corner of your eye, and hear noises when you're the only one in that room. Many of the rooms have no power to them, but you still have to navigate through them to get to room to backstage. It's a terrifying place to be, even in broad daylight.
Man, I'll tell you what, I didn't realize that our states had so many urban legends and myths and mysteries around them. Yeah, okay, I'm catering a little bit to Michigan, but that's my home state. These are the people that started supporting me before I ever had a YouTube channel. And like I said, it was a suggested video, so I had to jump on it and see what I could find. If you have urban myths and legends in your state and you'd like us to do a video on them, just get a hold of us right here at livinghistorycomesalive@gmail.com. We are more than happy to look into those urban myths and legends and throw a little bit of support to your state. Thanks for checking out the new video. You can always find us, like I said, right there at livinghistorycomesalive@gmail.com or at our Facebook page, Facebook/livinghistorycomesalive, or on Instagram at Instagram/livinghistorycomesalive. Like I said, the month is only half over. We have 1 week to that huge trip to Gettysburg for the history of Gettysburg and the haunted history of Gettysburg investigations. As long as we've got the support of people like you, there's nothing we can't do. If you'd like to support Living History Comes Alive, you can do so at www.paypal.me/MrHistory2020. I got to get ready for tonight's investigation. It's going to be a scary, emotional place. We are going to be in Galene, Michigan tonight at the Mount Zion Cemetery. So be looking forward to that video coming tomorrow. It's going to be a hard one. It's going to be a hard one. Over 100 children under the age of 10 years old are interned at that cemetery. It's going to be rough, but we're going to do the history on it, and we're going to see if those children are at rest, and hopefully there's none that are harboring any hard feelings about the painful way that they passed out of this world. So that's it for now, guys. As always, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Definitely ring that little bell. That way you'll know when new videos come up. And like I always say, y'all never know what we're going to do. So again, thanks for the support. Thanks for watching the videos. And thank you for becoming a member of the Living History Comes Alive and the Living History's Mysteries family. Until next time, we'll catch y'all down the road.